The Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is coming with some big upgrades, making it Samsung's most powerful phone yet. So hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, we've got some very interesting news that there's actually going to be two versions of the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2. One of them is going to be a 3nm chipset and the other is going to be a 2nm. Now every year we see Samsung use a slightly different version of the chip, but according to a new report, TSMC are going to manufacture some versions of the Snapdragon on their 3nm process, while Samsung Foundry is then going to be manufacturing the new 2nm version under the name Made for Galaxy. And given that Samsung devices come much later in the year than the first phones using the Snapdragon chipset, this could very well be possible. Now, news is still light on the ground at the moment, and this would certainly be a huge bonus for Samsung, but let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments below. Now, another big upgrade for the S26 is going to be in the battery department, with a new silicon carbon battery that's got a higher energy density, meaning it will get a larger battery capacity, and they're also safer than lithium-ion with a lower risk of overheating, which means that we should also see some significant improvements to fast charging, something that the S phones have been lacking for some time. Now, according to Benapro on X, the battery capacity on the S26 Ultra is going to be somewhere between 5,500 and 6,000 mAh, and while we've got no specifics on the fast charging, I really hope that we see a decent bump this time round. Now, a new report also claims that Samsung are looking at removing the internal space for the S Pen to accommodate this increase in battery capacity. And while it would still support the S Pen, it just means it wouldn't house it inside the phone, similar to what the Fold does. So that could be frustrating news for those of you that love the S Pen, but of course it's more of a rumor at this stage and it's not confirmed. Now, when it comes to the cameras, it's looking like we're going to be seeing another 200 megapixel primary camera, although it will be an improved sensor. We've also got news of a new camera feature on the rear, and it's actually a feature that we saw on the S10. And according to Ice Universe, the S26 Ultra is going to come with a variable aperture, and while previous phones had a dual aperture, we could actually see a triple or even a quadruple aperture this time round, and this is just going to add a lot more versatility when shooting photo and video. Now, one of the biggest upgrades is going to be on the selfie camera, and the S26 Ultra could be the first S phone from Samsung to feature an under-panel selfie camera, delivering that true full-screen display. And reports are stating that improvements to the technology have meant that it is good enough to be used as the only selfie camera. And we've also had plenty of reports saying that the under-panel camera in the Fold is getting a big upgrade, so it could be that they're running a bit of a test on the Fold before finalizing that decision on the S phone. But if they deliver a Galaxy S26 Ultra with a decent under-panel camera, then I think many people are going to be happy. Now, when it comes to the design, it's expected to look pretty similar to the predecessor, which is hardly a surprise. And of course, there is that small chance that we're going to lose the S Pen slot, but apart from that, it's going to be looking exactly the same apart from some new color choices available. And of course, we may get that full screen front thanks to the under-display selfie camera. I've also created these renders here though to give you a good look at what you can expect from the S26 Ultra. Interestingly, there are also lots of new reports saying that Samsung are going to be moving the launch all the way up to September in order to better compete with the iPhone, but personally, I just don't see this happening. For a start, it's going to be too close to its predecessor's launch, but also it brings it right after the Flip and the Fold, which just doesn't make sense from a promotional point of view. As it stands, they can spend half of the year focusing on the Fold and the Flip promotion, and then the other half on the S phones. But for those of you excited, we're now going to run through the full specs, design, and the prices of each model in the range to help you guys decide which one is right for you. So hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, we've got the standard Galaxy S26, which is coming with a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED display with improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+ and a resolution of 1080 by 2340, and it's going to be protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. We get a 12 megapixel punch hole camera for the selfies, and then over on the rear it's a triple camera setup consisting of a wide, an ultra wide and a telephoto, but unfortunately at this time we don't know the exact sensors being used. It's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2, and it's coming with 12GB of RAM and up to 512GB of storage, which will be UFS 4. It's coming with a 4,000 mAh battery with 25W fast charging and 15W wireless charging, and it will of course come with 5G,
Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra wideband support, and it's going to be launching with One UI 8 based on Android 16, and it's expected to launch from $800 in January 2025. Now next up, we've got the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus, which may also be the S26 Edge, and it's coming with a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED display with improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+, a resolution of 1440 by 3120, and is protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 3. We get a 12-megapixel punch-hole camera for the selfies, then over on the rear it's a dual camera setup consisting of a wide and an ultra-wide, but unfortunately this time we don't know the exact sensors being used. Now it's going to be powered up by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2, and it's coming with 12 GB of RAM and a choice of 256 or 512 storage, which will be UFS 4. And it's coming with a 4,900 mAh battery with 45W fast charging and 15W wireless charging, and it will of course come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra wideband support. And it's going to be launching with One UI 8 based on Android 16, and is expected to launch from around $1,000 in January 2025. Now finally, we've got the most premium model, the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. And the S26 Ultra is coming with a 6.9-inch dynamic AMOLED display, and again we've got improvements to brightness and color accuracy. We get a 120Hz display with HDR10+, and a resolution of 1440 by 3120, and it's going to be protected by Gorilla Glass Armor 3. Now there are many reports of the first under-panel camera on the S phone, and this is likely going to be an 8-megapixel under-panel selfie camera. And then over on the rear we get a quad camera setup consisting of a wide, an ultra-wide, a telephoto and a periscope camera. But again, at this moment in time we don't know the exact sensors being used. It's going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 in all regions, and it's coming with 12GB of RAM and up to 1TB of storage, which will of course be UFS 4. Now it's coming with up to a 6,000 mAh battery with significant improvements to the fast charging, and it will of course come with 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and ultra wideband support. It's launching with One UI 8 based on Android 16. It is expected to launch from around $1,300 in January 2025. So overall, it's looking like the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is going to be an exciting release in terms of hardware, especially if Samsung are going to be manufacturing the special 2nm chipset. But it's looking like Samsung are going to be continuing in the same strategy of improving and refining their phones rather than completely redesigning them for the sake of it. Now of course that means it's going to be a fairly similar looking phone, and as with all new phones at the moment, there's no doubt going to be a lot of effort put into the software, with AI playing a huge role in this, so it's going to be exciting to see what new features we get with the S26 series. Now launch is still quite a way away, and of course we're going to be receiving plenty of information as we approach that, and I'll be sharing it as soon as it comes in, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.